Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the scooter and what it's done, how it's changed, issues, everything. This is kind of like my review after owning it for just over 2 months. I've put about 225 kilometers on this, which is a lot. I have not left town with it, so it's not like I take it places and go for day trips and put 10K at a time. I'm doing half to 1 kilometer at a time. Grocery shop dozens of times. It's been pretty crazy. This has really revolutionized and changed how I think, how I work, how I do. I'll run down to the hardware store and grab 5 pounds of screws. Like, everything I do is different because I'm thinking about things differently. We'll start with the issues of the scooter. There really hasn't been any. The screws up here on the handlebars came loose, which you install when you get it. They were recessed all the way around, and then I noticed they were out, so I grabbed my screwdriver and I tightened up all the Allen keys here, and it re-squished the seal, which made me feel good. And I'll keep a closer eye on it. Adding the battery was huge. It really does. Like, the range on it really isn't that good. It's rated at 25K or something like that stock, and I was getting maybe 10 or 11. 50% reduction seems very common across the platform. So adding this, it's supposed to get me up to 40, and maybe in like eco mode it might, but I'm never in eco mode, I'm always in sport mode. Finding out there's sport mode, going through the settings and tweaking it and setting it up how I want was also huge. I've been in the rain and I've turned it into eco mode because it has so much torque on the front wheel that it just pulls me left and right in the rain. So I'll turn it down so it doesn't have the torque, and it kind of just zooms off a little more gently and works fantastic. I've ridden it in a torrential downpour thunderstorm. Awesome, no issues. I folded it up, put it in my car, it works great. Grocery store, everything works awesome. There's no maintenance, that's one of my favorite things about it. There's no tire pressure, there's a foam insert in the tires. I tightened up these screws once, but that's been it. Otherwise than that, I plug it in and charge it, I unplug it, and I take it for a ride. Money savings, 225 kilometers. My specific car to do the same equivalence in driving. Highway's different. I'm not on the highway, I'm not near a highway, and it takes a long time to get to the highway. So I'm doing around town. In 1 kilometer, I will see 5 to 6 intersections, stoplights, etc., waiting for crossing zones. I'm in a small town, there's a lot of people out walking around doing stuff. Yard sales on the weekends, just things that obstruct traffic. And that's where this really, really shines. 225 kilometers on this in my car would have been like, I'm probably anywhere between 18 and 25 liters per 100. My car's not very good on gas. A lot of the times I'll put it in manual mode. I'll hear it pop, crackle, bang, boom, but I'm 2,500 RPM. So I'm getting like 20 liters per 100 kilometers. So gas right now is like $2.10 a liter or something. So just basic math, like 20 times 2, 40 bucks per 100. That would bring this to 90 bucks off the top of my head, about $90 in fuel savings, which is about 10% of the value of the scooter. And I haven't done any personal trips on it. I've been intending to hop on it and go to the bridge, see some sunsets, do some different things, but I just haven't done it. I've been tired and it's late. I'm out here working, doing different things. As you can tell, the garage is a disaster because I've been busy working. So I haven't really put the miles on it I could have and utilized the value as I could have. I've literally just replaced one thing I was doing anyways with a different mode of transportation. And that's really where this has come in. So criticisms, things I would change. I would absolutely love it, and I mean love it, if this thing had suspension. This is the E22. I think the E25 had a front shock. But I like front and back suspension would be huge. There's a lot of vibration in the deck here. I do stand on it with my feet side by side. Like, I don't know, it's hard to nitpick because it does such a good job, and there is better versions that would accommodate or do everything I would want it to do better. But from a portability standpoint, I don't know if I could beat this. I would love to get a second one. I would love to get one that's maybe a little heavier, a little bigger, a little more power, a little more range, and use that for my around town and maybe a little bit further. But this is the best to throw in your car, go down to the beach, go to a boardwalk, spend the day wherever that you would want to go for a walk or go for a bicycle ride or do anything. It's pretty awesome how much this has changed everything. The last thing is really just the health aspect. I have bad hips, born with it, nothing I can do about it. I've been trying to get my health back in check so I can live the best life I can, because I have to work and spend time on my feet. But when I'm not needed to spend time on my feet and I want to just go out, I want to see stuff. Roommates are down by the water having a picnic and I just want to cruise over and say hi. They're not quite a kilometer away, a little too far for me to walk. Seems a little ridiculous to jump in my car, start it up. So this is really the balance. This is the halfway point where I don't have to take my car. I can throw a backpack on. I've hung stuff off the hook here. It actually works really well, which doubles as the hook to hold it while it's folded. Like, everything about this scooter is really well thought out, from how waterproof it is to the app to keeping track of everything, and just no maintenance. It's one of the funnest things I've ever done, from owning motorcycles, snowmobiles, going in quads, traveling around North America, off-roading. Like, of all the things I've done, to have one of these, to be able to ride it every day. One of the best experiences I've had on it, I'll do a quick story time while we're here. For those of you that have seen the movie The Sandlot, it was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I had it in my head that I was the only one that had seen it. It was like my little gem. I found out later that it was like everybody's childhood movie. But in that movie, they demonstrate a lot of very cavalier situations, from being a kid, from, you know, running down the street with your friends to when they go to the fair, like all these like nostalgic scenes that you look at and you go, yeah, I had a similar experience when I was a kid. And just that like summertime rural country feel I've had on this, like cruising down the different streets. It's nice and warm and sunny and everything's green, the foliage is full, and just cruising. My hips aren't sore because I'm not walking. I'm doing 25 kilometers an hour, so I'm making progress. Like, everything about it just came in to be one of the most like relaxing situations and things I've done in a long, long time. And I get to do that every day, which is just absolutely awesome. I couldn't be more happy with this. And obviously my financial limitations have set the feature limitations for the scooter, which is the only reason that's really my gripe, because if I could have afforded a more expensive one, if I had another $300-400 and got like the G30 Max, it would have gone further, gone faster, had suspension, done all this stuff, but it would have removed from a little bit of the portability. So I'm very glad I at least started with this, and we will see what we can come up with in the future. I would love to get a second one and have them out here. And not to mention, while we're in the garage, because it is so dusty, I'm putting together portable islands here, sanding, cutting. There's probably a 1/4 inch of MDF dust across the bottom of the table the camera's sitting on. This thing gets pretty pancaked. I try not to leave it outside in the sun during the day, so it sits in the garage a lot here with me, but it gets coated in dust. I'll bring the leaf blower over, I'll give it a quick once over. If that doesn't do it, I'll hit it with the hose because it's waterproof, and then it looks like $1 million, and I take off and I go on my adventure. So everything about it is exactly what I wanted, and everything I expected has been exceeded, and I'm just very happy. It's been awesome. That's it. Till next time, drive safe, take care, and behave. As always,